Now, it's been reported that Strictly head judge Shirley Ballas has split from her partner Danny Taylor after 6 years together. Of course, we know breakups, it's a very bad, sad situation, but do we think the older we get, the easier breakups get? Shirley is in her 60s, so do you think life teaches you just to deal with things better, or sometimes does it have the absolute opposite effect, particularly if you've been with your partner for a very long time? What do you think, Frankie?
I don't know, I think it's hard. I think you know yourself more and you know what you want more, hopefully, than when you were younger. But I think as you get older, it just comes with so much more responsibility. Like, even if you don't have kids or you're not married, you might live together or you've been together for a longer time and your lives are really entangled and things like that. And I think when you're younger, you don't have those things so much. Yeah. And I think that's what makes it harder as you get older.
Well, a friend of mine who I've known all through her life, she, you know, I've seen her in her breakups when she was younger and when she was a teen, and that agonising pain, it's just like you think you can't breathe, you're never going to be able to eat again, don't you? It's such a physical pain when you're young, that breakup. But, you know, about 5 years ago, her partner, he broke up with her, and they've been together like 20 years, they've got a child. And I was just so worried about that. Utter devastation. And it wasn't necessarily that she was madly in love or anything, but that life built together, like you say, and that entanglement and the same friends and apart from anything else, just the exhaustion of, like, you've done all that training and now you might have to train another one. Well, she decided very early on, never again. But that pain was just, oh, God, it was just palpable. And it just was just heartbreaking. And she started drinking more than she would have done normally. And it really was, you know, they had a friendship group where they would go away together as couples, and then you've got to shift into that. And then it's like, who gets this friend and who... I think you're right. I think the pain, I'm a great believer in invalidating young love. You know, when people say, oh, it's just young love. It's like, don't say that. That's the most painful thing ever. But what I've learned is it's just as painful, but just in a different way.
Do you think some of it comes from a shame as well?
I think some people are embarrassed. They do get embarrassed. I've got another friend like that. She's been divorced once, and her second husband is a lovely man.
She's really on one today, isn't she?
He's a lovely man. And we're always saying, you know, just leave him, because he's horrible. And she goes, oh, well, I can't, because I've already had one divorce. It's like, but who is that for, that you would just... And it is, I think it is a kind of shame, which I think is a shame.
Yeah.
You know, you can't stay with someone for other people's opinion of you.
No, you can't at all. But it's trying to pick yourself up, isn't it, if you've been in a long-term relationship and you're just very used to simple things even around the house. So you maybe do that, I'll do this. Yeah. The friend thing, I think, must be...
I think it's a big thing.
The most difficult.
Yeah. I've been married for 34 years and I've only just realised that we haven't got anything in common, really. I'm very sociable. I like going out, I like going on holiday, I've got lots of friends around me and the family and everything. And I just realised, I think the pair of us realised that we really don't have anything in common anymore. And so it's time to call it a day, really.
So there's something there, Linda, in that, and of course it's sad, and in the audience, you know, everyone feels that, but you do get to a point where you go, I know there is a new chapter.
Yeah, but I don't want to meet anyone else. That's the last thing on my mind.
No, absolutely not.
I don't want no more jiggy-jiggy or anything like that.
Before you start calling in.
No, but you can do those things you talk about. You're so sociable and you love your holidays and travelling and everything else. You can do those things now that really make you happy.
Yeah.
So there is light. There is light.
Like my friend, she now loves all of that and that freedom, but there's the pain first, but there is light.
Yeah, exactly that. Jiggy. One thing that might make it more difficult for Shirley to move on from her now ex is the fact she has his name tattooed on her. She revealed all of this, apparently, on The Masked Singer earlier this year.
There was, like, tattoos. Have you got tattoos?
All over my backside.
What? No way. Oh, my Lord.
Wait, hang on a minute.
Please say you've just got Anton Dubek right there.
All over and all over and all over, so yes. And then I tattooed my boyfriend's name on it. I'm not so sure that was a good idea.
There you go. Boyfriend's name tattooed on the bottom.
Well, that's a bit dangerous.
If I was to have a tattoo on my bottom, it'd be no entry.
I think you're allowed to say that. Yeah. You are allowed.
You know, in the context of the conversation.
I'm like, so where do we go from here, Christine?
If you had a tattoo on your bottom, what would you have? What would you have on your bottom,
Well,
Frankie?
that was me just about to go really sentimental. I've got a tattoo on my back for my nan, you know.
I love the story, actually, about your tattoo on your back. Because it's so lovely.
I know. So my nan used to call me Sunshine and Showers when I was younger. And it wasn't until I got older that I was like, oh, OK, that's actually a really good way of describing me. Like, I am, like, either, like, really, really up or really down or, like, there's not really many grey areas with me. So I thought, I know, my mum and dad hate tattoos. I thought, I'll get it tattooed on my back. My mum and dad were on holiday, so I rang my mum and dad, and straight away, the minute they answered, they went, you've had a tattoo, haven't you?
But you haven't said anything.
No, I hadn't said
Telepathic.
anything. Yeah.
Oh, sometimes.
And I still love it, and I actually purposely had my first tattoo on my back so that I didn't see it every day. So then if I decided I didn't like it, it didn't really bother me. But what I hate is that it's so thick now.
Yeah.
And actually, like, now they can do tattoos really thin, but then that wasn't really a thing.
So would you have it changed if you could?
No,
Yeah,
I don't think I would, because for me, I think tattoos are a memory. Like, I get why my parents don't like them, you know.
Yeah.
But I think, like, even if you don't like them as you get older, it was a moment in time. Even if it was, like, a drunken tattoo, it was a fun night you had, it's a memory. Or, like, all of my tattoos mean something to me.
Well,
so I think as long as I keep that going, hopefully I won't regret them.
I think that's a lovely way to think about it. And that's, you know, my eldest has a lot of tattoos. And, she, you know, I was a real anti-tattoo person because I grew up in that era where tattoos was like, you'll never get a job, you'll never get a boyfriend, you'll never... But actually, she explains it in a very similar way, that it's like things that are really mean... If you think we're printing things into our brain all the time, aren't we? Memory is good and bad. And it's kind of like an extension of that. So I love that you wouldn't change it because it was for that time. And I've changed my mind now on tattoos. Her skin isn't my skin, you know, just... Every birthday now, I buy her a tattoo.
So, yeah, it's the kind of thing. But would you change an ex-partner's name on your body? That's the big thing.
Exchange?
Would you change it?
Change.
If you had a name, of an ex that you no longer wanted to be with or indeed liked?
I would have a real problem with that because I'm very finished when I'm with somebody. That's it. I'm not making friends. I'm not having picnics with them. I'm not, you know, connecting with their new girlfriend. It's just over. I don't speak.
The thing is, you can have them covered, but I feel like you'll always know that that's why you had it covered.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's one thing I wouldn't do.
No.
So just don't do that in the first place. That's the one tattoo we have to tell everybody. Just think about it properly. Or the one that Linda was going to get. One or the other. Put a little bit of thought in.